What's going on, guys? I'm Jay the Black. Shout out to everyone tuning in. I want to talk about a guy by the name of Marcus Randle. He is the brother of former NFL wide receiver Antoine Randle. He himself, Marcus, played at the University of Wisconsin. That's why I have the Wisconsin background there. Standout wide receiver. Didn't make it as far as his brother did, but he decided to get involved in illegal activity. And he was dating a woman by the name of Sierra Winchester. She is at the bottom right-hand corner. He was involved in a romantic relationship with her. And while he's out dealing drugs, he thought he was some sort of kingpin, I guess. He thought, what I'm saying, that he would have to deal with all types of informants and people coming after him, that he decided the best course of action would be to take her life. Not only take her life, but the life of her friend, Brittany McAdory. At the same time, the reason why this to me is a shame is because the fact that this guy had two roads he could have went down. He was a standout wide receiver in college. Now, again, he didn't make it far in the NFL, but there are other routes he could have taken. His brother, Antoine, is after his playing career, has become a wide receivers coach for the Detroit Lions. Antoine could have done the same thing, but of course these guys can't leave the streets alone, either because they feel like they have something to prove, or they really are not intelligent enough to find another outlet. See, when you make it out the hood of whatever situations you had growing up, why would you want to go back to that? Is it the allure of being in the streets? Is the money that easy? Because when I see these black men ruin their lives and falsely, because that's what Marcus did. He falsely accused his girlfriend of being an informant when she wasn't, and ended up ending her life and her friend's life at the same time, cornering them while they were sitting in a car near a gas station. He didn't help matters because he's being seen with blood on him. Just dumb, right? Just dumb. And I know we can't blame CTE for this. We got to blame ignorance. A lot of these black males are, no matter, what success they find at one point, they still go back to what they know. And what do they know? Criminal activity, being a dope dealer, fast money. You don't have the resources to go out here and get legitimate money. I refuse to believe that. This guy, Marcus, had way more resources than most to do better in his life, and he didn't. And he made a mistake that has cost him his freedom, because we're going to get into the fact that he was recently convicted because his trial was delayed for almost 2 years. And now they have fully convicted him. And we're going to get into the particulars of what happened here and how this bozo has ruined his life. Now he's going to be behind bars. And the sad thing is that his brother had to sit at the trial and watch this. You watch your brother, someone you grew up with, someone that you shared the love of football with, go to prison for the rest of his life because he couldn't leave the streets alone. Because he wanted to make that fast money. There are consequences to actions, people. And if you choose the wrong route, that is on you. There's nobody else to be blamed here. Again, Antoine was able to make a success. Even after his career, he became a coach. There's no reason why Marcus couldn't have done the same thing. This kind of reminds me of Michael Vick and his brother, Marcus Vick. Because Marcus Vick has been in and out of trouble, in and out of jail. Michael Vick, he had his issues. He went to prison for dogfighting, but he was able to turn his life around. Now he has a regular gig on TV. When he got out of prison, he went back to his football career. But even after that, he went and got a job on TV. Now, I don't know what Marcus Vick is doing these days, but that's just how it seemed like these siblings who get into sports together. There's always that one that they can't keep things going, right? So let's get into this article first. And this talks about how the trial begins and some of the details surrounding Marcus Randle. This according to WKOW. So the trial of former Badgers football player Marcus Randle begins Tuesday with a prosecutor saying Randle's suspicion surrounding his dope dealing led him to ending the life of two women. Randle, who's 36, played wide receiver for the Wisconsin Badgers more than a decade ago. He is the brother of former NFL standout Antoine Randle. At the time of the incident, Sierra Winchester and Brittany McAdory, on February 10th of 2020, Assistant Rock County District Attorney Gerald Ubrick said Randle was a dope dealer and involved romantically with Winchester. During his opening statement, Ubrick said Randle wrongfully suspected Winchester of being a police informant. Ubrick said another woman attempted to assure Randle that Winchester wasn't an informant, apparently backfired. Ultimately, I think it had the unintended effect in his own twisted mind that Sierra was a snitch, Ubrick said. Let me tell you something. If you're not built for the streets, if you're not built to be out here dope dealing, then you shouldn't do it. The fact that he thought that his girlfriend, or a woman that he was romantically involved with, was trying to destroy him lets me know that he was very fearful out here and that he really wasn't built for it. Ubrick said Winchester was in the driver's seat of McAdory's Jeep with Randle in the back seat. When Randle struck Winchester, Ubrick told jurors even though McAdory was uninvolved with any drug dispute, her mere presence was enough to make her another victim. I think at that point in time, the defendant concluded that he could not leave any witnesses, so he took care of her too, Ubrick said. This guy thought he was living a movie. This guy really thought he was going. Did he really think he was going to get away with this? Like, you think that you have it bad with your dope dealing, man. You took the lives of two white women. Like, what do you think was going to come of this? Or two non-melanated women. What do you think was going to happen, Antoine? Seriously, not Antoine, excuse me. What do you think was going to happen, Marcus? Unbelievable. Ubrick said McAdory tried to run away, but Randle followed her and fatally struck her. Ubrick characterized the victims as being brutally executed. Taxi driver Michelle Edwards Horton testified she came upon Winchester in the road near Janesville gas station. I proceeded to her, "Baby, are you okay? Are you all right? What happened?" Edwards Horton testified. She asked Winchester, who was unable to respond. After her testimony, Edwards Horton broke down sobbing in the courtroom hallway and was assisted by court personnel. Ubrick said Randle made a getaway to Illinois in McAdory's Jeep, but ran out of gas. He said Randle left blood on a container in a plow truck, a driver's vehicle, when the driver took him to a gas station. Ubrick said a gas station worker saw blood on Randle as Randle begged for money to pay for gas to continue his escape. That's crazy. How you a dope dealer and you ain't got no money? This guy was a broke dope dealer that didn't have. I'm used to hearing about dope dealers having money, right? I've never heard a story where a dope dealer was trying to make a getaway and he ain't had no money. Like, bro, you in the wrong type of profession if you don't have no getaway money. I mean, there are guys that sell dope that, they have, wads on. They have like rubber bands full of money, but he ain't had no rubber bands. He ain't had no bands. He ain't had a couple. He ain't had no quarters on him. He ain't even have $2 or $3 in quarters. But he's out here ending people's life. Obviously, he really didn't have anything to worry about if he ain't had no money on him. Because if you ain't got no money, that means you ain't got no sales. Like, what's going on? He didn't even have his own car. He was riding in the back seat. Like, what's going on here, man? This is just crazy. Randle L's attorney Craig Powell said posts to social media quickly began accusing Randle L of the crimes. Powell said Randle was in Chicago and could have evaded the law, but instead surrendered to authorities to clear his name. Powell said some trial witnesses close to the victims are biased against Randle L. He asked jurors to refrain from rushing to judgment. Well, it doesn't help that there were witnesses that saw him with blood on him. That don't help. And that he was driving around in one of the women's Jeeps. Urbick said another former Badger football player will testify during the trial. Urbick told jurors that former player was also suspected by Randle L of trying to cheat him or interfere with Randle L's drug dealing. This guy was just paranoid out of his mind, man. Let's get to the conviction. This is according to NY Post. Marcus Randle L, a former wideout for the Wisconsin Badgers and the younger brother of former Steelers star Antoine Randle L, has been convicted of the 2020 slayings of the two women in Wisconsin. The AP reports that a jury found Randle L guilty of 2 counts of first-degree homicide in the deaths of Sierra Winchester, who was 30, and Brittany McAdory, who was 27. In Janesville, Wisconsin. A prosecutor said during the case that Randle L believed Winchester was an informant to police, that he was selling drugs, and that he also ended McAdory to eliminate her as a witness in the first slayings. While a weapon has never been found, investigators tie Randle L to the crimes through surveillance footage and text messages. The defense made the case that the state did not meet the requisite burden of proof, but Randle L declined to testify on his own behalf in the case. Marcus, I love you. You can't stop me from saying that, son, the defendant's mother said when the verdict was read. According to Janesville Gazette, the truth will come out, Mark. When Randle L was arrested in 2020, investigators had concluded that he was in the area at the time of the incident and had planned to meet the women. They believed that he stole their SUV after the slayings and later ditched it in Illinois. Randle L was out of jail on parole at the time of the slayings. He had previously served time for abducting his daughter via weapon. So this guy might be an all-around POS. Listen, man, this guy has a lot of issues. This guy put himself in this situation. He has nobody but himself to blame. His brother shouldn't blame himself. His mother shouldn't blame herself, because ultimately this guy made his choice. There are 2 women who are no longer here that should be here. But his paranoia and his lack of being good at what he did as a dope dealer made him paranoid and made him take the lives of women that he shouldn't have. One of those women he was involved with. Just imagine you were involved with a woman and one day you say to yourself, I think she's trying to snitch on me. I think she's trying to get me caught up. Let me tell you something, not all the time, but most times when women are really in love with a guy and when they really care about a guy, they will do whatever it takes to help that guy stay out of trouble. I've seen this. There are women who will go through great lengths in order to keep the guy that they are with out of trouble. And that might have been the case here. But again, because this guy he's not built for the streets. He's not. He's a wannabe. Because most of these dope dealers are not trying to take the lives of their girlfriends, because they know when they have a real one and when they don't. They're out. If they're trying to take out anybody, it's people who are competition or people who, you know, who have a lot of information on them and have a reason to want to get them turned into the authorities. But a lot of times I don't see these guys trying to harm the women that they're with because they trust those women. But you didn't have any trust in the woman you're with because you didn't know what you were doing. You were way out of your depth. You are a college football player. Okay? Your brother is a coach in the NFL. He's a former player in the NFL. Though there are different routes you could have took, but you took this one because you really wanted to be somebody in these streets. You cared so much about wanting to be somebody in these streets and get that easy money when you weren't even making money. How you gonna make a getaway and you ain't even got no money? You begging for money. So let me know something in the comment section. Let me know your thoughts. Like this video and share it. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and I'll see y'all next one.